You know, in politics, rumor and speculation are good bedfellows, and they're propelled when there's no information, especially in our peculiar jurisdiction. You know, after very many moons of watching and second-guessing the political thinking of former President Goodluck Jonathan, the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in his native Ogbia Ward 13 in Bayelsa State, has confirmed that the former helmsman and erstwhile PDP member is now a bona fide member of the ruling APC. He is primed to run for the office of president in 2023. Jonathan's ward chairman, Igori Freeman, confirmed the speculation. And so anybody, Paul, anybody who is in a quandary may now think differently.
I'm seeing a quandary, and I'll tell you why. I'm seeing a quandary. Because Igori Freeman, the ward chairman, said that Jonathan joined in 2019.
You believe him?
That's why I said I'm seeing a quandary.
Oh boy.
Because I don't understand. He said he joined in 2019 when David Leon was sacked by the court. Now, he joined in 2019. Nobody knew about it. We're just getting to know. The state chairman was asked. He said he will not talk. He will not say, go and find out. Well, it is Jonathan's right. It is Jonathan's right to contest for elective office under any platform. But what I can't understand is, I can't understand the logic. I'm trying to so hard to understand the logic behind his alleged willingness to contest under the platform of the APC. I have not forgotten that the reason why APC was voted was because of Jonathan's perceived believed underperformance. And I still remember that the current Minister of Information, who was then the APC National Publicity Secretary, regularly, throughout press releases, condemning the inadequacies, the shortcomings, you know, of the then Jonathan government. So what has changed? What is the ideology of Jonathan now consistent with that of the APC? Because political parties are supposed to be about ideology. Okay? The APC is supposed to be a progressive party. I mean, they came up with, at least when they came up with progressive ideas, change, you know, they rode on the mantra of change, and then that was 2015. Then they talk about next level in 2019. So what has changed about Jonathan? That's what I don't understand. That he has now become the darling of some elements in the APC who want him. So there is something very, very incongruous about the whole thing, which I don't understand. Meanwhile, if this is right, I will not. But personally, if I were to advise Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, say, if you must seek to become president, not in APC.
Are you an advisor?
No, I'm not his advisor, but that's just my view.
I can understand, Paul. I can understand your quandary, but you know you can sway 1,000 men by appealing to their prejudices than it is to convince one man with logic, especially in this particular case.
Well, for my friends in the APC, the more, the merrier. And they will be very excited to have a former president join their party. They are not going to bother themselves thinking about some of the things they said about this man in the past. It's still to them a plus that a former president
is on their side.
Yes, has come to join the party. Igori Freeman confirmed that Jonathan joined the party on 11th May 2022. Which means that he will need a waiver from the NWC before he can contest election. And the waiver, naturally by the APC constitution, that waiver has to be approved by the NEC. But you know that the NEC of the party has yielded its powers to the NWC.
Yeah.
So because they can't call a NEC meeting anytime soon, at least until after the primaries. So the NWC is handling the duties of...
As a National Working Committee.
Yes. So Jonathan needs a waiver because the law says that you must have been a member of the party for 3 months before you can contest. That's what the APC Article 20 on party election.
Yeah.
That's what it says, that the person seeking elective position must have been a member.
Are we to discountenance that information that he joined in 2019?
That's not.
But it's a report that says so. I'm still seeing the report here.
See,
well, we don't know which.
That's not what let's not argue about that on this program. For the NWC to be seeking to give him a waiver, it means that he just joined the party.
Okay.
Newspapers mislead. The other day they told us APC has zoned the presidency to the south.
Yeah.
It was on this program, I think you were even the anchor, when I delayed the program for 7 minutes just to be sure that we didn't mislead Nigerians. So anybody can report something, but that's not even the issue. Anybody can mislead Nigerians. But he's seeking a waiver.
Because he's a new member.
Yes, he has to be here. He has to have joined the party
90 days
for 3 months. He has to have been a member for 3 months. That's why where the waiver can come. They've given conditions under which they can give a waiver. He must not be a convict. He must apply for it, and he must agree to implement the manifestos of the party, which will mean that, okay, somebody who agrees with what the party stands for, so he will get that waiver. I was speaking with one of the party leaders just before we came into the studio, and he was saying, look, they are going to give him that waiver. And he said, so this is what the law says, and he even forwarded the portions of the law to me. So, Jonathan, I think some people, as I've said earlier, some people think that it's best for Jonathan to become president because he will do only one term and power can return to the north. That's the way some people are thinking. But it has only made these presidential primaries of the APC very, very interesting because all kinds of intrigues, all kinds of games are being played. But this is something that will be resolved in the fullness of time. So we will know where this whole thing will end. Will Jonathan, who was called names, and if I remember a governor calling him the ineffectual buffoon, an APC governor from the northeast.
President.
Yeah, an APC governor calling the sitting president.
I know. You remember the president himself at the time said he was the most insulted president on the planet.
But to look at a president and call him an ineffectual buffoon is not an unusual insult. This one is an insult that is deep-seated. Let's face it. Even me, if you call me an ineffectual buffoon, I can't predict how I will react. But that's to tell you that they never reckoned with him. They never saw him as a serious
But does it not baffle you about the game of politics itself?
Yes, and this is the nature of politics. Everyone is looking for advantage. They must have convinced themselves that with Jonathan on their side, that the party has become stronger. Every time someone of value or someone popular joins your party, it makes your party stronger.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So now Jonathan has come. Jonathan wants to join the party after all the game. They told us it was not, he's going to let Nigerians know where he's going and all that. And initially it appeared that he was not going to accept the fact that some people bought a form for him. But he made a U-turn. And we've been told that he has now agreed to accept that form. So it's just it's a very funny season that we find ourselves
where
people would take as much as 100 million to go and buy form for an unwilling candidate, a candidate that you never spoke with. You just take all of that money in a season in which Nigerians are dying of hunger. People would take all of that money and buy a form for somebody who did not send you message. You know, it's just...
The game of politics, Paul, is intriguing, you know, and so it's a game. We are watching, just like watching a poorly produced horror movie. I
don't think there's a more fitting description for this. I just can't get it out of my head that the APC mounted a very robust opposition to the PDP government led by Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. Okay? A very robust opposition that has not been equaled. In fact, what PDP is doing to the APC, you know, in terms of opposition is child's play.
So, sorry, let's not keep... Chidi is reaching us from Kafanchan. Just a minute, we'll be back with you. Chidi, good evening to you.
It's gone.
Oh, we've lost the connection to Chidi. Chidi, call back if you can. Yeah, you were saying.
I mean, it was a very robust opposition. The APC, as of then, was giving Nigerians the need to prefer an alternative. You know, criticizing his policies, his perceived inactions. That's Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. That was the man at the helm of affairs. He said, like you said, he was the most insulted president.
He said so.
And he was. People said all sorts of things.
But even Buhari is being regularly insulted.
Exactly. I agree. What I'm trying to say is that
I don't even think that they insulted Jonathan more than
how come now he has become the darling?
They even called him somebody who had died.
That he has become
seasons change.
They changed his name. They changed his name to Jubilee. So Buhari too has received all kinds of insults.
Yeah.
So
no, but it's just like somebody.
And don't forget, things were not this bad during Jonathan's time. But whichever way you look at it, in terms of security, in terms of even our well-being, the economy,
power.
During Jonathan's time, I think in 2014, our economy was the second fastest growing in the world after China. So the anger that people feel now, I believe, is greater.
I said that Buhari will not be seeking a second term. He will not be seeking a third term in office.
And Paul, you know, they say when you assume public office, you have become public property.
I don't even have a problem with Jonathan contesting election. You understand?
What do you have trouble with?
I have a problem with the elements, some elements in APC who want him. You understand? But then, let him get there. But the question is there. But the question now is, what is glaring to me now is it's not about the interest of Nigeria. You know, of Nigerians. That is what is glaring to me in all of this. It's about the interest.
Have you not heard that a man is ready to die for his interest than for his rights? Two different things.
Well, but government is there for the government is textbook. You know, it's supposed to be there for the interest.
Politics is an interest-driven game. These people in Abuja now, they are playing games amongst themselves.
Games that only they themselves understand.
They understand it. We can argue here all day about whether it makes sense for Jonathan to come back. For me, I'm shocked that he has made this move at last. I thought he would resist it. I'm not.
My attitude was a sit-down look attitude.
I'm not surprised because I had been saying it on this program that powerful people in the APC were contacting him, were still talking to him. Even the last time I went to Abuja, so one of the guys very close to him told me that, look, up till now, they are still on his case. So, but I thought that he would just hold on, and at the end of the day, he would not want to be part of this election. Because if he doesn't win these primaries, he has demystified himself. Exactly. He has rubbished himself.
Exactly.
And that's why people are sometimes reluctant to take the plunge, because you know that when you take the plunge and things don't go the way you want it, it can make or mar your image or your political career forever. So he's taking a big gamble. A big gamble. And a lot of people used to respect him will feel, if he should lose the primaries.
But,
if he doesn't win...
But do you know, even his joining the APC has raised the national adrenaline. You know, you're looking at the temperature and the calculations. If this is not this, if this happens. So it's one of sit down look, Paul.
Yeah, we just we will sit down. We will
sit down.
We just with the look. We are watching.
We want to see how they want to do.
How they want to do. But you know, it will not change the fact that Jonathan wrote his name in gold when he conceded defeat. Something that, and that is what some of us are concerned about.
Paul, you see, let me tell you.
What was the alternative to not conceding?
Well, it will have chaos. Perhaps chaos.
Let me tell you a story told by a senior colleague.
Because he said something, he said after he lost the election, that a lot of people used to call him, or no longer call him. Those who used to visit him had stopped visiting him. So he was already feeling abandoned after he lost the election. Someone, look at even the police IG, was already dealing with a man who had not been sworn in, his own incumbent IG. So he must have told himself that, look, the best thing, let me just go, Jerry.
You know, a senior colleague said, a creditor met a debtor, and the one said, if you not pay me my money today, na quench. And no do. The one with their own money, carry knife, kill the other one, and the man died. And you keep wondering, what next? What next?